Welcome to the National Pulse. I'm Raheem Kassam, editor-in-chief of thenationalpulse.com. The Democratic Party of America continues into its denialist tailspin as the Republican National Convention continues to wow the right, the left, and stun the national media. And it hasn't just been the quality of the production or the quality of the speakers at the convention, it's been the ethos behind it. I said on Laura Ingram's show 2 weeks ago that the Democrats lacked ethos, they lacked logos, and ran their entire convention on pathos alone, that is to say, emotion. And emotion certainly hasn't been lacking from the RNC, but it's not the only thing we're forced to watch there. I showed you how lifelong Democrats were calling into C-SPAN after the RNC's second night yesterday, insisting they'd be voting for Trump and voting Republican after juxtaposing the two events. And the best is yet to come tonight with the president as the radical left plans to protest outside the White House. Mark my words, Washington, D.C. won't be pretty tonight. They're already boarding up businesses downtown because Black Lives Matter or something. And while Kamala Harris seeks to rebut the president's message today, yes, they're taking the risk of rolling her out in the wake of all of this, I guess they don't have much of a choice. Nancy Pelosi has said the quiet part out loud again. I want you to watch this.
I don't think that there should be any debates. I do not think that the President of the United States has comported himself in a way that anybody should, and that has any association with truth, evidence, data, and facts. I wouldn't legitimize a conversation with him, nor a debate in terms of the presidency of the United States. Now, I know that the Biden campaign thinks in a different way about this, but I thought what he did in the 2016 was disgraceful, stalking Hillary Clinton like that. I was disappointed that the press didn't say, go back to your station. You're not here. You don't own this stage. You have your own podium. She has hers. So I think that he'll probably act in a way that is beneath the dignity of the presidency. He does that every day. But I think he will also belittle what the debates are supposed to be about. And they're not to be about the skullduggery on the part of somebody who has no respect for the office he holds, much less the democratic process. Why else would he try to undermine the elections in the manner in which he is doing? So if Joe Biden asked you what I thought about it, I don't think that he should dignify that conversation with Donald Trump. You ask them any questions, both of them. Just take their own stage for any number of conversations about any subjects. Hold them accountable. What are they proposing? What is their vision? What is their knowledge? How are they going to get it done? How do they connect with the American people? Let that be a conversation with the American people, not an exercise in skullduggery.
Unbelievable, or totally believable. The Democrats are in a full-blown panic right now, and who can blame them? You saw what Nancy Pelosi just said right there, just this morning, that Joe Biden shouldn't legitimize the President of the United States by debating him. He's the President of the United States. His legitimacy doesn't come from Joe Biden. It doesn't come from a debate. It comes from the fact that Americans elected him. And by the power and the rule of the Constitution of the United States of America, he's the commander-in-chief of the most powerful nation on earth. Joe Biden? Nobody wants legitimacy from Joe Biden. Not even Jill Biden wants legitimacy from Joe Biden. Look, it's very, very, very clear. The Democrats have run out of ideas of how to take power and are instead launching an all-out offense on democratic norms. They're the undemocratic party. I want all of you who missed yesterday's show to go back and watch my monologue from yesterday, because I explained very clearly how they intend to try and steal the election by hook or by crook, or by crooked. That's Jason Miller's nickname for Hillary Clinton. Crooked Hillary. And the whole party is crooked right now. Our guest today, I think, will likely concur. He spoke at the Republican National Convention last night, and he used to vote Democrat. I want to remind you of his speech from last night. It was very moving. Let's play it.
Before I left to come deliver this message, my energetic 8-year-old son Jackson stopped me and said, "Dad, can you please just tell everyone that all lives need to matter and that God loves everyone?" In that moment, I realized that my 8-year-old had figured out what so many adults have seemed to forget. We are not as divided as our politics suggest. At some point, for the sake of our children, the policies must take priority over the personalities. So because you have an issue with President Trump's tone, you're going to allow Biden and Harris to deny our underserved black and brown children school choice? Are we so offended by the president's campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again," that we're going to ignore that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have collectively been responsible for locking up countless black men for nonviolent crimes? Are you going to allow the media to lie to you by falsely claiming that he said there were very fine white supremacists in Charlottesville? He didn't say that. It's a lie. And ignore the so-called Black Lives Matter organization that openly, on their website, calls for the destruction of the nuclear family. My fellow Americans, our families need each other. We need black fathers in the homes with their wives and children. The future of our communities depend on it.
Really important message. I'm so glad so many people got to see it. When we come back, we'll talk to Jack Brewer, former NFL player, star for the Vikings and the Giants and the Eagles and the Cardinals. Not football I'm used to watching, of course, as you know from my accent. A husband, a father, an Obama supporter, and now a Trump supporter. When we come back, I'll ask Jack Brewer about his move from supporting the Democratic Party to the Republican Party and what he thinks of the fact that Joe Biden doesn't think he's black. This is the National Pulse, and we'll be right back.